Hey y'all, welcome back to the All Things Lifestyle podcast. I am your host, Tay, and thank you so much for tuning back in to another episode. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you guys are healthy. I hope you guys are safe. I just want to say happy Thursday if you're listening to this on a Thursday. I upload on Thursdays. So if it is Thursday, if you're listening, happy Thursday, but any other day, happy whatever day it is that you're listening to this. My favorite day of the week I feel like it always was Fridays. But I feel like Thursdays is slowly becoming my favorite because it's like a pre-Friday. You know, it's like, okay, we creeping up on the weekend. It's the end of the week. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love a Friday. Don't get me wrong, like TGIF. But sometimes it's TGIT too. Thank goodness it's Thursday. Like, yeah, just wanted to say that. I feel like Thursday, and because like I started uploading on Thursdays, I feel like it has become my favorite day of the week. Like, and I'm so mad because earlier this week, I started, like, my throat started feeling kind of weird. So I'm all paranoid. I'm like, oh my God, let me take a COVID test. And I'm paranoid what's wrong. But then like 2 days later, it's fine. I be so paranoid when it comes to stuff like that. Like, I'm so bad when it comes to stuff like that because I be so paranoid. Like, I'm like, oh my God, is it COVID? I don't want to give nobody COVID. Like we've had so many at work, we've had so many COVID exposures. So I'm like, man, I've been good this whole time. So let's keep fingers crossed. Let's keep it going and staying COVID free and just being healthy all around, not getting sick. Honestly, I feel like people like, oh, I don't wear my mask anymore. I don't wear my mask anymore and stuff like that. Like, I don't wear my mask all the time. Like when I go out and stuff like that, I don't wear it all the time. But when I'm in like the grocery stores and at work and stuff like that, I feel like wear your mask, not even from COVID, just from being protected from germs, period. Because I feel like I have not gotten like sick in a long time. Like I had COVID last year for my around my birthday, and even before then, like I like a cold or something like that, a stomach flu or something. I've had not a stomach flu, like a stomach virus or whatever. I haven't gotten, and let me not say that because now I feel like I'm gonna get sick now that I'm saying that. But I feel like the mask is really protecting from not just COVID, from just getting sick, period. So that's why I'm still like, wear your mask anytime you remember, anytime you get a chance, because it really protects you from getting just sick, period. Ready for the weekend, getting prepared. I've got my outfits and stuff together because my friend is coming for her birthday weekend. It's gonna be so lit. I cannot wait. We got like dinners planned, brunch planned, day party planned. Like, you already know, it's about to be a vibe. Like, this weekend it's up. It's up this weekend. That's all I gotta say about it. Oh, and one more random thing I wanted to talk about for the intro before I get into my weekend recap. So, I don't know, I haven't really paid this any attention, and I haven't really seen it being like talked about on social media and stuff. Have you guys noticed on YouTube, like on your phone, when you close YouTube, the video still plays in like the corner of your phone? This just happened to me like 2 days ago or yesterday or whatever. And I'm like, hold on, is this a thing? Like, I did not know. Because I feel like this is something that we've been waiting on for a long time. Or is it something else? Yeah, I know. I think that's what it is. Because people are like, why every time I close YouTube, the video stops playing? It can't play in the background. It does that now. Well, on my phone it did. So I'm like, we coming up in the world. Because the YouTube video was playing in the corner of my phone and I'm scrolling through something else. Like, I had to look for something. But I was like, wait a minute. Social media makes everything bigger than what it is. So I feel like something like that, everybody would have been like, yeah, you see YouTube playing in the background on the phone, blah, blah, blah. Like, nobody has said anything. So, no, okay, so now that I'm thinking about it, I think it was when YouTube doesn't play when you lock your phone. Okay, so I just went off like that whole thing, and I thought it was what I was thinking, but it's not what I was thinking. But still, like the YouTube video playing in the background, I still feel like that's kind of cool. I don't know, maybe I just didn't notice it before, but okay, I think everybody was talking about like the video playing after you lock your phone. I think that's what people were saying, like if you're listening to music on YouTube. I think that's the thing, but I don't know, like DM me on Instagram, let me know, have your videos played in the corner? Maybe it has and I literally just did not pay attention, but it happened like a couple of days ago. I just noticed it a couple of days ago and I was like, whoa, is this a thing? Like, I didn't has this always happened? I don't know. Now, let me know if I'm tripping or not. But anyway, for my weekend recap, I actually had a pretty relaxing weekend, to be honest. Like, I just chilled, I cleaned up, got some laundry done, watched some TV. Like, I just had a very chill weekend. Sunday brunch, I went to Sunday brunch at Ben's Next Door. That Ben's Next Door in DC has become my new favorite brunch spot because music lit, I know the food gonna be good, and the drinks is good. So yeah, so I know that's like my go-to place. I've been trying new places, but Ben's is my go-to like brunch place. We had a good time. Brunch was lit. Listen, DC brunches, I've said this before, DC brunches is a time, like, because you could go from brunch to a day party real quick. Like, it don't take much. You leave brunch, you go down the street, day party right there. It don't take much. So, but yeah, I want to do an episode on like a DC weekend itinerary or something like that. Like, just to give my suggestions of the places I've been to. The places I've been to here. Just so like that's the episode you can refer back to if oh, I want to go to DC. If you think of this podcast, I'll have that episode there so you guys can get some good hotels to stay at, some good restaurants, some good sightseeing places, things to do. It's not going to be super long, but it's probably like 2 or 3 places I'll name in the episode. So I think I'm going to do that next week? I think I want to do that next week's episode. Definitely, that'll be cool. But oh yeah, and I went to my first speakeasy place. So a speakeasy, I didn't really know what it was, but it's a place where they don't have like, it's not a restaurant. It's more like you get drinks and you just chill. They got like music playing. It's very dark, like that kind of vibe. And they have like little bites, like pretty much the menu is full of appetizers. So it's that kind of size, and yeah, you just get something small to eat, get you a drink, and just enjoy the person that you're with. Yeah, me and my friend went to that. That was cool. It was called Salt in Arlington, Virginia. So that was a nice place. So definitely check out Salt. I definitely recommend. I definitely plan on going back because I always see like on TikTok like, oh, some speakeasies and stuff like that. I'm like, I've never been to one. And then my friend told me, she's like, oh, let's go here, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, cool. And we went and I liked it. Definitely recommend. Try out a speakeasy if you haven't. With all that being said, let's get into the question of the week. Okay, so this week on the question of the week on my Instagram, I asked 2 questions, but it was more so polls. First question was, okay, so rewind, back up. This episode I'm talking about spinning the block with an ex. So, do you spin the block or not? If so, under what circumstances? Will it be beneficial? Will it not? Will it just be toxic? We just gonna talk about that this episode. So I don't know if I said it. I always do that. I always just get into it without saying what the episode is gonna be about. But sometimes my titles, like, you can tell what it's gonna be about by what the title is. Yeah. So we're talking about spinning the block this episode. Okay. So the question of the week, the poll I asked was spinning the block with an ex. Yes or no? Like, question mark, yes or no? A lot of people said yes. I got majority yeses, and I'm like, okay. And I don't judge because I feel like we've all been there. Like, We've all went back to somebody that, and that's the thing. And it's not even like dedicated to certain people like you had a relationship with. Like it could have been a situationship. It could have been, oh, y'all liked each other at once upon a time. You know what I'm saying? Like it ain't got to be just a full on relationship. Just anybody that you used to talk to or had something with that don't no more, and you went back. Period. That's what I mean by spinning the block. So a lot of people say yes. And yes, I've had my fair share of spinning the block a few times, because just sometimes you just can't get enough. Can't get enough sometimes. You're just so in love. And you be like, ugh. The second question was it beneficial for you? I got a lot of yeses. I got more yeses than no. So I'm like, that's lit, because mine was not beneficial at all. I'm gonna have to say no. Mine was just, woo, fun. And then, yeah. Ooh, fun. Yeah. Well, maybe it was maybe it was beneficial because I learned a lesson. So maybe it was. So maybe it was beneficial for me. I don't know. Before I get into more of chatting about that, I'm going to see what we watching this week, because, Tune In with Tay, we watching some stuff. We listening to some stuff. So the show that I'm mentioning this week, and I've actually have been binging it the past 2 days, is Sisters on BET. Okay, so backstory. I watched this show when it first came out in 2019, 2018. And it was like when that show came out, it was like a lot of black shows started coming out on BET with Tyler Perry. Like it was The Oval, and all kind of black shows just start spewing out. Like it was crazy. But Sisters, that's the one I really started watching. I was telling like my friends and everybody about like, oh, watch Sisters. And now it's like everybody watches it and I don't watch it anymore. I stopped watching probably like the end of season 1 going into season 2, because I just feel like their storylines is so drawn out, but it's good storylines. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know, I just fell off. From watching it. But now my best friend, she'll like mention it to me like, girl, you need to get back on Sisters. You need to watch, blah, blah. So I like pick my days off and I'll just binge all day, like watch it. And I am on season 4 now, because like I said, I stopped at the end of season 1 going into season 2. No, I think it was the beginning of season 2 when I stopped. So I've been watching from season 2. Now I'm on season 4, and it is good. Like I said, the storyline, I've always loved it. I just fell off from watching it because, like I said, I felt like the storylines was kind of dragged out, but it's good storylines. Anyway, Sisters is 4 black girls going through life with their relationship issues. And of course there's drama. Like the show is just full of drama, and it's all little like twists and turns happen and unexpected things happen. Sometimes like the show to me is kind of predictable, but they do have some things in there. You're like, oh snap, I did not see that coming. So that it definitely has that in there. So currently on season 4, I've been binging it. But yeah, and it comes on BET, the show. It is good. I definitely recommend. It's Sisters with an AS, not an ERS. Sisters, So when you type it in to search it, let me know. Hit me up on Instagram. My Instagram is always linked in the show notes. And let me know how you guys feel about the show and if you like it and what other shows that you've watched that I've recommended. So yeah, let me know. Okay, so when it comes to spinning the block, like I said, do it if you want to. Like, I mean, I feel like do it if you want to at the end of the day, because I'm the type of person, I do what makes me happy. Now, if you feel like this person has changed, it's going to be beneficial, you feel like y'all can move forward with a whole relationship and flowers and happiness and everything, then yes, do it. But if you're having second thoughts and you're sitting there like, I don't know, then that may be a red flag, a caution sign to maybe not do it. And like I said, like if you do it, of course, it is what it is. Like, live your life how you want to live your life, but just know and be prepared that if you do, it might come with some aggravation. And then that's another thing. We all, like I said, we all have went back to somebody that we know we ain't have no business going back to. We all have. And sometimes it might just be a physical aspect, like, But we have. Like, you go back to a person and you sit there and you let her, you be like, I know I ain't got no business doing this. I know this ain't gonna work, but it's fun. That's how it be sometimes. You like, I know this is not gonna work, but it's fun in the moment. Cause sometimes, like, don't get me wrong, like sometimes as people, we don't need serious relationships all the time. Sometimes you just literally want to have fun. Like, this ain't gonna mean nothing. This ain't gonna do nothing. But it just depends on the mental space that you are in if you do spin a block, because that's what I can say. If you are in the mental space of having fun, is what it is, no strings, no feelings, then do it. I feel like if it's fun, why not? Sometimes you just want to have fun. Like, it is what it is. But if you are in the mental space of, and you want something serious, and you want this person to take you serious, and you know this person is not on that type time, I suggest not, because you're going to get your feelings hurt. So it's a difference of doing it, having fun. But if you try to do it to be serious and you know that person ain't going to be serious, then don't do it, because you're going to end up getting hurt again. Now, if you trying to be serious and he trying to be serious, or vice versa, you and that person trying to be serious and then it's still not changing, then yeah, cut it off, because it's no point. A lot of the times we spin the block because it's familiar. You know what I'm saying? It's a familiar face. It's a familiar person, familiar personality. From everything's familiar. You already know how this person think, act, his actions. And that's another thing, as I feel like as humans, that we cling to is familiarity. Familiarity? Did I say that right? I hope so. We cling to the familiar, and sometimes we don't want to start over with a new person. I felt like that before. I'm like, I don't want to get to know nobody new. I still feel like that, but I'll be like, whatever. But as people, and when it comes to dating and trying to, figure out who you're gonna be with, find your soulmate, I guess, you gotta meet new people. You can't keep going back to that person, especially when it don't mean you no good. When it's just hurt after hurt. It's like, yeah, spinning a block is fun, but how is it gonna benefit you in the end? Because, and I don't want to say it like in a selfish way, like messing with you, how I'm gonna benefit from this. Like, when I mean benefit, I mean, like, are you gonna feel good? Are you gonna be happy? Because you don't want to sit here and spin the block and you're just mad, sad all the time. Like, that's not fun. That's not cool. And that's another thing too. And then another thing, sometimes we spin the block because of love. We love them. And I have learned sometimes love is not enough. It's not enough. You have to care about that person. It's so much more to a relationship than just love. And a lot of people be in a relationship just based on, I love him, I love her. Sometimes it's not enough. Literally. I just feel like you at least got to be friends, and you got to be happy. It can't just be, but I love them, but I don't want to be around them. You know what I'm saying? But I'm with them because I love them and I'm familiar with them. That's very common. Definitely had to learn. Love is not enough. Spinning the block can be fun for a moment. You know what I'm saying? And it could just be momentarily. It could be a month. It could be 2 months. It could be a week. It could be 2 weeks. But I feel like if it's a person that you don't see yourself with, having a future with, y'all still ain't on the same page, and you just want to have fun with it, just have fun with it. Other than that, don't be on nothing serious if they're not showing you anything. If they're not showing you that they changed and anything like that, don't do it, because it's stupid and it's a waste of time. And I feel like it's a difference between like wasting time and having fun. Like, let's just go out, go on a date, let's go on a trip or something. Just, yay, for that moment, and then we get back, don't talk to me no more. That sounds bad, but I mean, yeah. But yeah, that's why I said I definitely, oh my God, I can't talk today. But I definitely feel like a lot of people go back because it's a comfort zone. It's a comfort thing. You know that person. You know their ins and outs. You know that person like the back of your hand. And I feel like that's another reason why a lot of people spin the block. That's why I did that in love. But like I said, love ain't enough. if you ain't getting everything else you need in a relationship. And then being familiar with somebody, yeah, it's fun, it's cool because you're familiar with them, but getting to know somebody new that actually fulfills what you need as a person and matching your energy and stuff like that, that's unmatched to me, because it's like, dang, love that person, I used to be involved with, but it's like, you got to move on eventually. Spinning a block it could be good. Child, it could be good and bad. It could be both. It could be beneficial or non-beneficial. But I definitely suggest doing it if it's beneficial. If it's literally non-beneficial, and if it's going to cause drama, if it's going to cause you hurt and pain, don't do it. And know yourself to sit there and be like, okay, this, and this. If I do go get back with this person for however long, you know what I'm saying? Definitely know yourself. If it's you just doing it just to, I'm just doing this because I'm bored. That sounds bad, but a lot of people do that. That sounds so bad, but a lot of people do that. Like, I'm just doing this because I'm bored. Just know what you're doing when you do it, when you spin the block, whatever. Y'all go on a date, y'all going on a trip, or y'all just doing y'all thing. Just definitely know what you're doing. But spinning the block is normal, I feel like, because I wanted to ask, because I feel like the polls is like, everybody's like, yes. You know what I'm saying? Because it's common. That's when you know, like, oh, everybody do this. Like, and that's one good thing I like about when it comes to like social media and YouTube videos and podcasts and like watching vlogs and stuff like that. It's like when you see that other person do that same thing that you do, that you maybe thought that, oh, it's just me. It's not just you. It's a gang of us that do the same thing. So thank y'all so much for tuning in to another episode of the podcast. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I will talk to you guys next week. Bye.